I'm about to go over our entire content plan, all the way from how we come up with content ideas, doing our research, doing our actual content, filming it, the ads, and everything in between. I'm even gonna go some steps after that, where you might be thinking, well, cool, having content and ads is awesome, but what happens after that? How do we make sure that the people that are coming from these ads, how do we make sure that they go to the right place? How do we also make sure that we're tracking these things and that we're optimizing this over time? All of that I'm going to answer here. The first thing that we do is market research and competitor analysis. What this means, basically what this means is what we do is we go on multiple of your competitors' Instagram pages, and to get really granular, we create a brand new account on Instagram. And the reason we do this is so that we can create a fresh new page that follows all of the people in your industry and your competitors. And what this does is it feeds that account with new content that's related. And what that does is it feeds that account with just a bunch of content that's related to your industry. What we can then do with that is we can find what's called outliers. Outliers are when, in general, and I'm just speaking in general terms, it's not always like this, but an outlier is a video where the view count is 3 to 5 times the number of followers, at least, or more. So for example, if you have competitor A and they posted a bunch of content, maybe some of it got 1,000 views, another one got 2,500 views, another one got 300 views, and another piece of content they posted got 75,000 views, right? And this competitor A, let's assume they have 2,000 followers. This video right here falls in that outliers criteria, because this video with 75,000 views that they posted has 35 or around 30 to 40 times the number of followers. These are kind of like proven video topics. The fresher the topics are, the better as well. The next thing we do is we have our game plan call. Our game plan call, we discuss things like who your ICP is, like ideal client or customer profile, the demographics. Sometimes it's radius, so if you only operate in a certain area. Pain points, desires, why people work with you, we find where people are coming from. All those sort of things we do in our game plan call so that we can kind of get a good understanding of how your business works on a more granular level. And then that also helps us create the best content ideas. With that, we go ahead and create the content plan, and we validate those content ideas using SEO tools. The reason we do that is because of the new Google update that allows your videos to be shown in Google and ChatGPT. So now when we optimize for SEO, which wasn't important before, we're giving your video a chance to be in search, which is a really cool thing. Now, in terms of the ads as well, we do the same sort of process with the ads. The only extra step that I may have forgotten to add is the ads research. So we actually use tools like the Meta Ads library and other software to go ahead and research the best ads that have been working. Usually a good criteria that we like to use is that the ad is currently active and it's been running for at least 3 months. The reason we do that is because we know that this is proven, or at least it's a much higher likelihood that this is proven, because there's no world where a business owner is going to spend their hard-earned cash just wasting money on an ad that didn't work. Usually, when people run ads, once you kind of find out after a month or two that they're not working, then you cut them. But when ads are working, you keep them on. And as you can see here, there's a whole process that we do that gets more granular when it comes to actually making the content and the ads. But the next portion of this that you're going to care about is once we kind of write the hooks, so we make the hooks specifically for you. And that's because it's one of the most important parts of the video, if not the most important part of the video. So we make sure to put a lot of effort on that. We also go ahead and record that content for you. So as you probably already know, if you're coming from my Instagram, we actually go ahead and come to you with our camera, audio, and lighting equipment and film all of that content for you. So all of this process is done for you. Pretty much the only thing you're part of is really just these two. Because once we finish up the content ideas, we go ahead and send them to you so you can kind of fill in the blanks as well, since obviously we're not you and we don't have your brain. It would be cool if we could have that, but unfortunately, the ideation process is collaborative. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you view it. The next thing we do is there's a ton of steps that we do to actually get connected to your ads library if we're also running your ads. We can't just, press a couple buttons. We're not really boosting posts because we need more control when we run the ads. If you're watching this, you may have boosted posts in the past, and I think that works as a great starter. But when you're really trying to make money through ads, you need to know exactly what you're doing. And that all really comes from being able to connect to your Meta Ads account. With this, we're going to be able to set up targeting, set up tracking, and with this tracking and the targeting, we'll be able to optimize the ad. Okay, now comes the fun part. If you have some sort of B2B business, maybe professional services, some sort of financial services, then this is where things get spicy. Once we make the content and the ads, so this entire process, all is well, cool, but how do we make sure that all of this process isn't wasted? How do we make sure that it's not just wasted, but that it's efficient? We want to use a landing page to send that paid traffic to. The reason is, one of the big reasons actually is because of this ads tracking in this pixel. So for those of you that might not be aware, we set up what's called a Meta Ads pixel on your landing page to make sure that we are basically giving Facebook back the data that it needs to know exactly who we want to target. So whenever people fill out a form, we can actually qualify them or disqualify them, so Q and DQ. And here they can be sent to a different page or none at all. And then here they can be sent to a calendar where they can book an appointment, book a meeting, whatever that is for you. Basically what we do is when people fill out this calendar, we're sending that information back to Facebook, basically telling people that we want to reach more people like that. And the reason we do it that way is because once they go through that form, the form is going to have those qualifying questions. So for you, that might be, do you live in a certain area? Do you have, XYZ type of business? What's your monthly revenue? Are you currently spending money on XYZ? That sort of thing. And so when we have that form that qualifies for us, we can then go ahead, disqualify the people that you can't help, and then qualify these people. So actually, I'm just realizing that I did this in the wrong order. So we want to disqualify here, and then qualify goes to the calendar. But these people, their data gets sent back to Facebook so that Facebook specifically knows to reach more people like that. And then we can go ahead and use that data, and it just gets better and better over time. So there's a whole entire process that goes into setting up your CRM, setting up your VSL, which stands for Video Sales Letter. How do we integrate Facebook, setting up the pipeline and the opportunities in your CRM. There's a whole process that we do, and I'll cover that in a separate video. But this video was pretty much just so that you can get a really good understanding of all it takes to really make content that works for you. This is all stuff that I already have set up on my business, which is why I can talk to you about this. And this is stuff that I do for other people as well. So that's how I know that it works and that it's important, and not only important, but required to see a lot of success on social media. Because at the end of the day, you probably don't want to be famous. You probably care about how you can use social media as a tool to get more clients and make more money. So if you like this video, you want to learn more, go ahead, subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me a comment. And if you have any questions, go ahead, click the first link down below on my Instagram and go ahead and send me a message there. I'll definitely be able to help you out quicker on Instagram. Thanks for watching.